So, what is your name?
My name is Adonijah Reid.
Your age?
I'm 21 years old.
And the position that you play on the field?
I play on the wing, sometimes behind the striker.
And your height?
I think 5'6".
5'6". Background?
Yeah. My background, my parents are Jamaican, but I was born in Canada.
Born in Canada. So, how long have you been here now?
Like for my last contract.
No,
Yes,
and just in Canada in general, how long have you been down here?
I've been here for forever. What do you mean?
For your whole life, right?
Yeah, I've been here forever.
So you're 21
Yeah.
right now. And all right, so where did you grow up?
I was born in Brampton, and I've grown up here ever since.
And how was that experience like growing up in Brampton? What kind of experience was that for you?
I mean, like it's a cool place, you know. Like all my friends have been here. I've been have the same friends since like grade one to like now. So like it's always been nice to be here because I'm always around them, and
Right.
just been a nice place to grow up.
What about like when you're traveling and you're away from family for soccer?
Yeah, I mean, when you go away for soccer, it's always going to be like a sacrifice you have to think about. You're going to be away from family, be away from friends for a long time, but in the end, if it all works out, I guess it's going to be worth it.
Right.
You know, you can always come back like holidays and things like that to see them, but you just have to make a little sacrifice to, like better yourself for a little bit.
And do you ever like regret any of those sacrifices that you ever made for soccer, or is it just like it's worth it?
No, I don't think I've had any regrets for it right now. I
Nice.
think I'll keep up with it.
So, what have been the past clubs that you've played with so far, professionally?
Professionally, my first club was FC Dallas. They drafted me at 17. I went to the combine. I didn't even go to college. I went straight from high school.
Nice.
I was there for 2 years. But then in between it, I went on loan because I wasn't able to play because of like FIFA rules. I went on loan to Ottawa Fury in the USL,
Hmm.
which is a good time that I think I did pretty well there. But and then after the end of my contract, I went to Le Havre. It's a
Nice.
second division team in France. I was there for 6 months, which was that it was okay.
Hmm. And when you say FIFA rules for the viewers, like what does that mean? Why weren't you able to play at FC Dallas?
So when they drafted me, I was 17,
Yeah.
and FIFA rules you have to be 18 to play out of the country. So if I got drafted to like Vancouver, like any of the Canadian MLS teams, I would have been able to play easy. But
Mm.
I guess because I was like they considered me like a foreign player at that time, so I wasn't able to play.
Understood. And did you try to find any loopholes while you were in that position, or was it just like,
Honestly,
all right,
honestly, I don't think anybody knew about it. My agent never spoke to me about it. Nobody ever tried anything. When I first got drafted, I was there for 6 months before I went on loan to Ottawa. So I don't. I wish they would have found that. Like I wish I wasn't in that predicament at
yeah.
all because of course I wanted to play and show I could play there and I never got to. So it's just I guess it's just one of those things that happens.
And you mentioned an agent. Do you think it's important for all players to have an agent, or is it something just like it's a whatever thing? Like, what do you think?
No, I feel like you can always like yourself can always knock on doors, be like aggressive and not like aggressive, be like annoy people to like open doors for you, like things like that. But of course, an agent will just help with that extra work with talking to clubs and then things like that. He'll get you on the right way. But of course, like it's not really necessary because you can always do it yourself. But I think just an agent will just give you that little extra push. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I understand. And
Yeah.
how would you recommend players to go about getting an agent? Is it something that an agent comes to you based off your talent, or is it something that you present yourself to an agent and say, "Hey, this is what I've done. This is my CV, my videos. Can you do something for me?"
I mean, it can work both ways. So obviously, if you're at a club and you're playing well, people can come to you and be like, "Oh, like I want to talk to you, try and help you out, whatever, things like that." But also, if it's the opposite way, you try and need help, trying to go somewhere else, you can always just ask your teammates, like coaches, anything, and just look on the social media. There's always people that can try and help you somewhere. You can always go and reach out and look for one yourself.
One thing I mentioned in the book is we're speaking about social media. I mentioned LinkedIn. There's a platform called LinkedIn. Are you on that?
No, I know about it, but no, I'm not on it. No.
Okay, okay. So, have you ever reached out on Instagram to any coaches or anything like that, or you just stick to your agent?
No, I've only stuck to my agent. Like
Mm.
I feel like he's because I'm under contract with him, so I don't want to
Mm.
like push any boundaries or step over anything that I like mess up anything's between me and him.
Right.
Mm.
I understand. And how long have you been with your agent for?
Since 2017. So at the end of this year, it'll be 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
not the end, the beginning of 2017. Sorry.
no worries, no worries. I want to dive into a little bit of the agent. Get into details because I've with other people that I spoke to, Sean, Dante. We briefly spoke about agents. I want to kind
Yeah.
of dive into more detail about how does the process work with the agent. Like, with how was your experience with your agent? What kind of relationship do you have with your agent? So can we start with that?
I mean, yeah. When I first met him when I was on A and B, we used to do things like ID camps.
Yeah, I remember.
So coaches would come from all over and look at players and eventually like bring them back to where they are to give them a trial or anything. So my agent, he came to the combine and he spoke to me. He liked me, he spoke to me, and things like that. And I kept in contact with him. This was like 2016. I kept in contact with him, and then 2017, he's like, "Oh, I have something for you," which is the combine. So he asked me like, how would I feel about going to the MLS and things like that. I'm like, yeah, I'd go for it for sure. So after that, we kept in contact. I met him for the first time. I thought he was a cool guy, and I believed in the things that he said. So I think just like with an agent, you have to like realize what type of person they are and if they can really help you, and they're not just talking nonsense just to make you sign with them and like ruin your career. But with my agent, I feel like he did a pretty good job. He got me like where I wanted to be, and I respect him a lot for that. But I just feel like you just have to go. I don't think like if somebody like wants to be an agent quick, I don't think you should just jump at it right away.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should just look at it from all angles and see what this person can really do for you, because it's at the end of the day you're signing yourself to them,
Yeah.
and they they like they don't necessarily control your career, but like they can put things in your head to make you go where different places and things like that. But you have to like, of course, yourself comes first, so you have to like think about where you want to go and what you want to do, and then you tell them, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that, things like that.
That's really good insight for the viewers that are going to see this. Thank you, Adonijah. So
All right, so
it's a genuine process, as you're saying. And were you the only person involved in it, or did you have your family involved in this process as well?
I mean, of course, he would talk to me about things that were going on, and then I would tell my father about it and see what he had to say. Sometimes like he'd be like, "Yeah, go for it," and then sometimes be like, "Nah, I don't think you should do that."
Mm.
So like I know like your agent always wants to do things maybe with say your father or anybody close to you doesn't think that's a good idea. You should always like listen to other people as well.
Yeah, Coach Linford. Shout out Coach Linford. All right. Um, so we talked about the past professional clubs that you played for. What are past clubs that you played with in the past to build you up to go pro?
Yeah. Well, my first club was Caledon Soccer Club,
Mm.
because like my older brother played there, my dad coached there, so I guess my dad just brought me there. He started coaching me as well. Just played there for like 4 or 5 years, and then that's when I went to A and B
Mm.
in
Yeah,
the
big time.
academy where I spent a lot of good years there. About 4 years there again, 4 or 5 years there again, and I feel like that experience was pretty good for me. Like the teams, we always went to showcase ourselves. We always went overseas and like a lot of ID camps, and I appreciate like everything Coach Bassam has done for me there because he like believed in me and brought me places and showed me off. And I feel like if I didn't go there, I don't think like I would be here today basically.
Mm-hmm. Shout out AMV Academy. Shout out Coach Hassan. Yeah. Um, okay, okay. So, who are you playing with right now, currently?
Right now, I'm not on a team. I haven't been on a team for over a year now. My contract with La Havre was done at the end of July 2019,
Mm.
and I put on a couple of trials here and there, but things didn't work out. But I should be going back on trial in the next month or so. So we'll see what happens from there.
Okay. Do you mind if we dive in like a little bit of the experience in France and because you touched on it a little bit, if you don't mind, Why? How? Like, what didn't work out? Was it you performing on the field? Like, what was that? If you don't mind.
No, I feel like looking at like I don't feel like I did well there actually. Like
Nice.
playing wise, I did well,
Yeah.
but I just feel like the whole experience, like it wasn't. I don't think like if I had more time, I feel like it would have done better because I signed the 31st of January, so that was the last day of the transfer window. But then I had to go back home to get my work visa, so that took about 3 weeks off the season. So that was like 1 or 2 games missed there already. And then
Mm.
when I finally came back, I was training. I did well. Just played my first game 10 minutes, and then started 2 games. And then that's when I got injured. I got injured for like let's say about 3 weeks probably.
Wow.
So that's another like 2 games there, and then played 1 game, and the same injury happened again, and then yeah, that was another like 2 3 weeks, and the season was done. So I only got to play like 4 games, and they said like, yeah, you did well there. Of course, like we see a lot of potential in you, but we just didn't play. We didn't play enough games, and I feel like sometimes, like especially in Europe, I feel like they have players coming in and out like all the time, and if you're not performing like high level week in week out, they're just quick to replace you, you know. But I feel I did well there, of course, but
Yeah.
it wasn't enough for them to offer me another contract basically.
Understood. I mean, you're healthy now, right? Which is the
Yeah,
good part, and you're ready
yeah,
to go on trial for next month. Okay, cool. Um, and we've been playing recently. We've been running it up at wherever you've been playing. Marcelino's.
yeah,
So you're
yeah,
looking healthy. How do you feel right now? Like, is your body fully recouped mentally? Are you fully recouped?
yeah. I feel like, especially with what's going on right now, I feel like at the beginning of this pandemic, I was like motivated myself to like train, like push myself to like keep fit, like
Mm,
going on runs and things like that. But then I feel like because we didn't know like when it would end,
mm,
we didn't nobody knew it would be this long. So I was just pushing myself. I got to be ready. I got to be ready. But then over a period of time, I just like my mentality fell off. Like what's going on? Like when's this gonna end? Where am I gonna go? So I just stopped like pushing myself for like a month or two, and
mm.
then this was like during the summertime. But then I feel like in the last month, month and a half, I've been going back at it and just trying to keep myself fit because and speaking to my agent, like he's like, you never know when you could go, so just always keep yourself ready, because
Exactly.
things move very fast. So you just always got to keep your body ready, keep your mind ready, just everything you need to be, so you can be at the best you can be when you're going away for a trial or for a team like that.
Facts. So, are you training with anyone right now? Like, are you training with Shauna? Like, besides at the
I
field and
just I
stuff?
just started training with an academy. I just tried out a couple of training sessions with Sigma to see how it is, just to keep my touches and just to keep fit. So it's been okay so far. So I'm just trying to see how it goes this week.
You're over at Sigma right now.
Yeah, yeah, just a couple of training sessions.
Yo, have you ever met Bobby?
I played against him like when I was A&B versus Sigma. I don't really know him like that, but
Okay, so because right now I'm playing with North Mississauga League One, right?
okay,
After a game, I seen him. Congratulated him on for just winning the CPL,
yeah,
and then I was like, hey, I'm like, are you leaving the field anytime soon? He's like, no, I'll be here. So I went, got back, got a book, got a pen, signed it real quick. I was like, hey, do you have any kids? He's like, yes. I'm like, here. I basically gave him the book, right? I'm planting a seed is basically what I'm
yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then um, I posted the picture on Instagram, shouted him out, da da da, CPL, da da da. Long story short, I think we were going back and forth on Instagram, which was pretty weird. Like I was just like, I guess this is a thing. This is a thing now. Like social media is actually a serious thing. But
yeah,
then I took it off of Instagram and I went into emails on Gmail. I sent him my CVs. I don't have good CVs, so I haven't heard anything back. But I feel like that would be sick if something could happen over there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, I want to dive this back into you. Would you go to the CPO? Is that something you would consider, or is it like, would you look at that as a step back? Like, how would you look at that?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's a step back,
Yeah.
but it's just like not a step I'd be looking to take right now
Mm,
because like I'm not no disrespect to the league, but I just feel like I still have a lot to show, and I want to show it in a much more developed league and a much more just I just feel like I can show myself more like in like Europe or North America, like not like like basically like USL or like MLS, those type of things. I feel like I can show more there. I know like I think it would benefit me a lot more if I played in those leagues right now. But of course, like in the future, of course, my eyes are open to playing there, but just not at the moment now.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. And I wanted to dive back into France. Long story short, when I was in France too, I was playing for I was playing for a D5 team that had a D4 team, and the D4 team was interesting. LeMay, no, wait, LeMay?
I know what you're talking
I think.
about. MANS, huh?
I came back to Canada. I procrastinated the fuck out of this shit. I didn't get my visa, and that killed the opportunity because I wasted so much time to go back for preseason and train and get back over there. And that's when I was at my prime time. So we're diving back into France. When you came back to Canada, did you get the visa in time? Like, did you push hard enough to get the visa in time, or was it something that you took time on?
Yeah, man. I feel like I told them like my situation. I went there, I showed them my contract, everything like that. I'm like, I need this as soon as possible. But it still took like 3 weeks, and it took a long time. I just feel like that took a lot out of my playing time, because I just feel like things like that, it's not something that every player knows that can happen to them. You know what I'm trying to say?
I understand.
Like, I didn't know it would happen to me, so just another experience I can share with like people so they know what to go through, what to expect if they're going to sign with Europe and they don't have the right documents,
Right. Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to dive in. This is the last question before we dive into the fun speed questions. How do we know each other?
I know about you because first my dad told you, like my dad coached you, and then he told me about you, and then after we started playing together for a little bit at A and B, and then they always told me like you're a good quick player, quick with your feet, things like that. Just then I saw it myself for the first time. I thought, yeah, this guy's good.
Thank you. All right, so let's dive into the fun speed questions. Actually, before we dive into that too, I actually wanted to say this. So one of the things that I noticed is that this is off topic, completely off topic, but we're just talking. I'm pretty sure you know about energy too. One of the things that I noticed playing with you recently is on the field. I feel like this is so off topic, but I feel like people give you this energy, right? Because people have this perception of you, and they give you this energy, and you feed off of it, and that's why people always give you the ball. That's something I noticed. Would you agree with that? It's something I'm taking in because I do it myself.
No, I know what you mean. So I feel like they think I can like say you want to score a goal or trying to win the game. I feel like they think if I get the ball in my hands, will, if not necessarily score, will create like a good solid chance to like score or win the game. I think like that. Yeah, I noticed. I know what you're saying.
This is off topic. I wanted to bring it up to see what you were saying because I was thinking about it because I used to do it a lot before. Like I remember, like the 1-2 time you come to Brampton, I'm like, yo, let me give Nige the ball.
Yeah.
I don't do it as much because I'm like, I need to build myself and be the one to do the same thing as well, right? So it's 2 times effective or whatever the case may be. But I wanted to see what you're gonna say about what I was gonna say about it. Yeah, that's off topic. But
I noticed it.
Okay, cool. All right, so fun speed questions. Who's your favorite soccer player?
Favorite soccer player has been Messi for like 15 years now.
I knew that was coming. Favorite soccer team?
Barcelona.
FC Barcelona. Hey, what do you think about the team now? They're not.
I mean, rebuilding here, man.
This guy said they're rebuilding it.
Rebuilding, man. It's about time.
Hey, how old's Messi right now? He's like what?
33, 34.
How long do you think he's gonna be over there for?
If he doesn't leave by the end of this season, I'll just give him 2-3 years.
You ever? Do you watch any like Messi documentaries or anything on Netflix, like Barcelona?
I watched like at the beginning of the pandemic. I watched like a couple of them when he was like playing with national team and things like that. But I haven't watched any recent ones, no.
Okay. What's your favorite movie? You could put like 3 on it, 5. If you have a couple.
One of my favorite movies probably. I know it's like a Real Madrid thing, but I like Go To. Go To is actually like a sick movie. Another movie I probably like. It's a movie called In Time. It's like a, I don't know if you've heard. It was like Justin Timberlake movie about they have like time and like in their watch, like in their hands. I don't want to explain it, but I think it's a cool movie.
Let me check this out. In time.
And
What was the other one called?
Goal Two.
Go to movie. All right,
Uh,
let me see that. What's the third one?
mm, can't even think of a third one right now. I don't really watch a lot of movies. I like series, you know.
Mm-mm-mm.
Not really a movie man.
What about okay? So what's your favorite series then?
How to Get Away with Murder probably
Is that good?
was the beginning was proper.
Say word.
Kind of died off at the ending, but it was a proper show.
And favorite song? I think I know your favorite artist, Lil Uzi.
Yeah, like, just I don't know what a favorite would be. I'd probably say like one of his old tracks, Loaded.
Oh, okay, yeah, Loaded's fire.
But
Loaded's
like,
fire.
I don't know. He has too many fire tracks, man.
Yeah. All right, all right. What is that? Okay, these are the last three, last three, last three. So are you attending college or university right now online?
Oh no, I'm not. No,
Have you ever attended college and university?
no.
Uh, would you say it's important to?
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
Like, there's always life after soccer, and you gotta like think about your future and what you're gonna do after that. So it's always important to make sure you have other things to fall back on when
Understood.
like after you're not playing.
I know I spoke to Jordan Perusa. You know Jordan Perusa.
Yeah.
He When I asked him, he said soccer is the A plan. I was like, is there any plan B? He's like, soccer's the plan B. Something like that. He's like,
Yeah, I know.
the only plan is soccer. So, um, and I feel like it's important to have that mindset that, soccer is the frontier. Like nothing else comes behind it. Like you burn everything else behind. Do you think that's important or you should have a backup?
I mean, if you know that you're going all in for this, of course, like the mindset is I'm going to make this. I'm going to make a living off of this, and I'm going to make sure that I do it right. It's always has to be the mindset, but like there's always the possibility that it may not work out. So you just have to make sure that you just have something there. It doesn't have to be like something very big, but just make sure something to fall back on if the possibility of something doesn't work out for you. But I know what he's saying. I feel like that's true, man. You gotta if you want something, you have to push for it. You have to put your all in.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you guys. And going back to when you said you signed your professional contract, what year was this?
Beginning of January 2017.
2017, and you were 18?
No, I was 17 at the time.
17 at the time. Okay. How was that? Like, how did you feel?
I mean, it was the draft, combine draft, or whatever it's called. Like, that's not. I never pictured myself ever going to a draft in my life because, like, I didn't go to like the university or whatever, college in the States. So it was like that was a different experience. I remember going there. I'm like looking at all these older guys. Like when I first showed up there, all these guys were like, "Who's this little guy? He's not even from like a university or anything." And it was like I just felt out of place, because like it was different experience for me. But luckily, like I met somebody there. He's from here, Kareem Rae. He's from Ajax, I think. But yeah, but he was cool, and he like helped me like understand things, get along with people, things like that as well. But like when they called my name, I was like wow, because usually when mans go up there and they get called, they say like a little speech or whatever, thank a few people for what they've done and things like that. So like the night before, I was like the guys. I'm not really like a public speaker, to speak in front of people and things like that. So like the night before, I was like shaking, like
Yeah,
but I got a little help for that, and I feel like just when my dad told me how like when I was talking, it was like, wow, like you did a very good job, and you handled that properly, and I don't know, man, it was a really cool experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Trust me, I definitely watched it. I watched your soccer highlights too, cause I mean
Yeah,
you're a big inspiration to me. You're someone
yeah,
close by, like close to me, like I could call you or something. So
yeah.
it's like,
Appreciate it.
and I've spent years with Linford, so I think the other thing too is like you're a big inspiration to a lot of the kids at A and B too.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's like that's powerful right there. That's influence. You know. Yeah, man. I mean, yo, honestly, I want to say thank you for being an inspiration. You know what I'm saying?
No worries, man.
Um, and thank you for being on this interview too. I really appreciate it.
I know it took a long time, it's just that's gonna find a way to get to the office. So,
Yeah, yeah,
just,
yeah, yeah. No, that's fine. Everything takes
yeah,
time, man. Everything
yeah,
takes
yeah,
time.
yeah,
And obviously, I built my confidence and got a couple interviews in too before. So
yeah, yeah. I
it's
see that. I see you're working hard, man.
thank you.
A lot of my friends are. See, I'm seeing all the interviews for it. A lot of my friends are doing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool to reconnect. It's cool to interview and share your experience through the call, through the FaceTime.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Thank you.
No worries.